Happy New Year, everyone. 2023. Frank dropping knowledge. Frank Dicas dropping knowledge. My first video. I had time today, and I think I'm going to start doing this on my lunch hour. Because as you already know, if you've seen my videos in the past, I'm just too busy. So I gotta find a way to make sure I can record and start uploading. And hopefully this year will be the year in which I'll be a little more consistent in my video drops and all of that. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about hating the game and not the player. Right? That's what we say, right? When you see someone upset because you're coming up in the world, because you're doing things righteously, because you got a job, got a place to stay, got your little threads going, maybe you got a little car, right? There's going to be people that will hate that. They're going to look at you funny like, man, why is this fool coming up and not me? What does this fool have that I don't have? So what do we normally say under those situations or under those circumstances? Hey, homie, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? That's like the common lingo that's in our pop culture now, to be able to say, hey, homie, don't hate the player, hate the game. But what we sometimes fail to realize is that that's exactly the game that player is playing. The hating game. That's actually a game. There are people whose whole MO is to try to get over on you. There are people whose game is sob stories online to try to get people to help them out, always lend them a hand, always give them money, always do me a bottle, hey, do me a bottle, hey, help me out, hey, I'm struggling, hey, I'm doing this. And as kind-hearted individuals that some of us tend to be, in my case, I try to help out. If I see someone struggling, I believe in empathy. I put myself in their shoes and I try to help out. And people know that. Now, I don't got to mention names. I don't got to mention what I do for people. It's just that people know that whenever I can help, if it's within my power to do something for you because you're struggling, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to ask you for anything in return. But respect and loyalty. But some people don't know how to do that. There are people that are constantly trying to leech off of you, and that's their hustle. That's their game. And when you don't come through for them once, that's it. They're going to start talking shit behind your back. Once you stop putting your hands in the fire for them after all their fuck-ups, now you're being hated on by these people that you've helped all along. That is their game. That's their hustle. So sometimes it's not even necessary to tell them, hey man, don't hate the game, or don't hate the player, hate the game, because that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they do. They hate, and that's how they go through life, hating. I know dudes that are older than me that are hating on me because I got my shit together. They want to fly under the radar, do the bare minimum, but get the maximum reward. It don't go that way, homie. You want the maximum reward, then put in the work. You know how it is. Those of us that have been on the street that understand how it goes, those of us that have struggled, those of us that have hustled, those of us that have made it from the darkest depths, understand what real hustle and what really coming up is. It's not about hating on fools. It's not about hating on dude because he's doing better than me. Maybe dude knows more than me about this, but I gotta show him that I know. Man, come on. Keep it real, homie. You don't got a lot to kick it. There are dudes that I've helped out over the years, and I don't charge them anything. I don't ask for anything in return because that's how my heart is. But once you stop helping them, once you stop putting your hands in the fire for them, all of a sudden, you're their enemy. All of a sudden, they're talking shit. All of a sudden, they think that they can go around talking about you behind your back, and it's not going to get to you, and fronting talking about, hey, that looks, they look at your post, or they talk to you, hey, that looks feed, man, hey, orale carnal, whatever, but behind your back they're talking shit. So what can you do? Look, in my case, I just let them be. And what I've realized is that that's not the game that I want to play. And that's not the type of player that I want in my circle. So my advice to you, 2023, is to check who's really in your team. Are you guys playing the same sport? Or is this guy a leech? Are you really surrounded by hustlers? Or do you have maybe one or two that you got to carry all the way, but yet they flaunt and act as though they're players, as though what you provide them is something that they got on their own? Come on, man. The world doesn't work that way, And one day the world, not me, not anybody, doesn't have to be a person per se. We'll pull your whole card and we'll check you. And before the world, everything will unravel. So, what game will you decide to play? Are you focused on your own goals? Are you focused on the things that you need to focus on? Are you really putting in the work that you need to put in? Or are you looking at the next man, hating on the next man, wishing you could have what the next man has, right? Faking the funk and trying to be close to that person. But when you don't get any crumbs falling off of the table, when you don't get a handout, when you don't get that pick-me-up that you always ask for, that you always need, that you always sob on your social medias, because you be sobbing. Hey, man, that's the game you play. That's how you're known. No, there's no need for anybody to say anything but to step away from the type of people that are playing the hating game. Don't call yourself a player if all you do once you get money is spend it all, and then you're struggling again and you're expecting people to bail you out. That's not what a player does. Don't say that you recognize the struggle when all you do is struggle. There has to be a point in which you raise your head, you level up, and you continue to solidify who you are as a person, as a man, as a father, as whatever it is that you claim to be. But I'll tell you right now, I'm not perfect, but I do what I gotta do. And if I run into problems, I take care of them on my own. If I know I'm screwing up, I don't blame anybody else for getting caught. Don't blame others for your fuck-ups. Don't blame others because they don't stick around because you continue to fuck up. It doesn't happen that way. No one's wants to be around someone that's constantly leeching, constantly asking for help, constantly asking for backup, constantly asking for credit, for a loan, for help. But when you turn around and you expect them to be up on their feet, they're laying that whole game that they laid on you on someone else. Because now you're not helping them out. That's their game. That's a player of that game. And I don't play that game. So, if you really want to succeed, focus on what you got to do and put in the effort that you got to put in the work that you got to put in. No matter what it is in life that you're trying to achieve, it's going to be up to you to achieve it. No one's going to give you a free handout or a free lunch. You got to do it on your own. So, with that being said, happy 2023 to everyone. Frank Ticas Dropping Knowledge is in the house. And I'm going to continue keeping on. Because that's what I do. Hope all of you had a great holiday. Hope this year's treating you well. And if not, start hustling. Because that's all we got to do to keep on keeping on. Peace.